Alright guys, another middle of the night video here as usual. As you can see, this is a Tomytronic's 3D shark attack game. This came from a fellow YouTuber by the name of Lewis Dublin, also known as Bob. I subscribed to Bob a while ago because he actually collects these things. He collects a whole range of the old LED and LCD handheld games, and watching through one of his collection videos, I noticed he had one of these, which I think is called Tank Attack. It was just a loose game, and I had a box for it. Now, I bought this at a car boot sale probably a couple of years ago. This is the Thundering Turbos game. It's like a racing game, car driving game. So this came in a box, but the box was actually for the Tank Attack game. So didn't really bother me because I'm not really collecting these. Now this Thundering Turbos game was the one that I owned back in the 80s. I had this, not this exact one, but I had one of these. So I was over the moon to find one of these again and have a nostalgia trip playing it again. But the fact that it was in the wrong box didn't really bother me. It was just sort of protecting it. So I seen that Bob had a loose Tank Attack game, so I sent him a message and said, look, I've got a box for that. If you want it, let me know and I'll send it down to you. So Bob's down in the south of Ireland, in Dublin. So he said yes, no problem. Give me his address, so I sent the box down to him, and he very kindly sent me this Shark Attack game as a thank you. I wasn't really expecting anything in return, so really appreciate it. Now this is one that didn't really make it into Bob's collection because it had some problems. The sound was really bad on it. The sound was really glitchy, and you could hardly make out, you know, it did make noises, but they were just sort of screeches and you could hear it was really struggling. So I had thought maybe there was a capacitor away on it that was causing the sound to glitch. The game itself did work, so I pulled it apart, and if you can see from the photo here, a battery had leaked in the battery compartment and had leaked onto the motherboard and caused pretty bad corrosion on the resistors and stuff there. So didn't know if I was going to be able to fix it or not. So what I did was actually sprayed the whole area there that's all corroded, sprayed it with contact cleaner and just give it a real hard scrub with an old toothbrush, and really cleaned it up surprisingly well. Took all the rust and stuff off the legs of the resistors. Now there was one resistor had actually burst just from excess corrosion, so I managed to I actually had a resistor the same as it, so I replaced that one resistor, put it back together quickly and tested it, and it's working 100%. Sounds perfectly clear. You can actually hear what it's trying to do now, whereas before it actually plays like a little tune when you start it up and when it's game over, and you can actually hear the tunes now, whereas before it was just sort of random noises out of it. Yeah, so really happy to get this thing up and running. I'm not planning on collecting these by any means, but the fact that I now have two is pretty damn cool. See, this was the only one that I ever played back in the day, back in the 80s, and I have kept this. I probably will always keep this now because it's nice to go back to it every now and again and get that little nostalgia kick. So this one's totally new on me. Never played this before before I got it. And yep, stripped the thing apart. The thing was absolutely disgusting. It had 30 years worth of kids' sweaty hands on it, and in round with the two halves of the case meat, and in round all the buttons was extremely filthy. So it got pulled apart and scrubbed up, and it's come up really nice. Does have still a few scratches and stuff over it, but when you consider that this was a kid's toy and it's 30 years old, you know, it's I think it's in pretty decent condition. The all the lenses are scratch free, and there was quite a bit of dust trapped in on the actual LCD screen, but I got that all cleared as well. So I'll just turn this thing on here. I'm probably not going to be able to show you any gameplay as such, but you'll at least hear the nice clear sound from it. So if I press the on button here, just make sure there is an on off switch for the sound. But if you just press this button here, which turns it on, let's see if we can actually. So I'll just press the start button here, and yep, it works 100%. It is quite a hard game. You're sort of at the top of the screen shooting down at sharks coming up at you, and that is pretty damn challenging. So if we just get them killed here, you'll be able to hear the game over tune. So that's pretty much it. Before I repaired this, you couldn't even make out those tunes, or that it was, you know, you couldn't tell that it was actually a tune it was playing. It was just sort of random screeches that it was making. Yeah, so pretty much cleaning up the motherboard and replacing that one resistor has got this thing back to 100% again. Now one of the battery terminals actually snapped off on me as I was putting this back together to test it. It was the one where the battery had leaked, so the acid had actually ate through the leg, the metal of the battery terminal. If you can see here, turn this light on. This one here, which is far taller than the rest of them, this is the one I replaced. I actually salvaged this battery terminal out of an old broken LCD game, which took C batteries actually, but even though it is taller, it still allows the AA battery to contact perfectly. So that's pretty damn cool that I got this thing going. Just took a bit of work, took a wee bit of time, and it's cool getting this thing back, saving it from the bin basically, because that's probably where it would have ended up eventually. Someone would have thought this doesn't work and thrown it out, whereas now it's in my collection, and that's where it will stay along with my other one here. So I wanted to say a big thanks to Bob, aka Lewis Dublin, for sending this to me. Really didn't have to, mate. Really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed seeing that it's now restored and working perfectly again. And I'm going to stick my batteries in this one now and get a wee nostalgia trip going, play some thundering turbo. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.